Well, I'm at the offices of the CAB, the Citizens Advice Bureau. They've got the cars parked outside so close together that you can't get up to the door. You couldn't if you were, obviously. The world isn't run for wheelchair users, but wheelchair users would not be able to get around these vehicles. When you do get here to the door, they've got a notice on the window saying how excited they are at the CAB to be closed, basically. You can only get them on the telephone and, well, there's the notice. Their offices are being refurbished. Our services will be operating as normal. We are accessible on telephone, email, social media, and for appointments. Free phone, email, blah, 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 blah. No, I've seen no public announcement of that. I don't know everything that goes on. But what's also, I've just happened on my way here, come from the Children's Commissioner office, which has got an interim commissioner at the moment. Again, we don't know when the fully operative one will be back, if ever. So this is what's known as new government, keeping the public in the dark. And there's some very helpful guys here. They're all ready to do useful things.
What?
But for whom?
We're doing it for Citizens Advice Bureau. We are Back to Work Foundations, and we're going to do a little refurbishment here. And whilst that's happening, Citizens Advice will be on the corner on Union Street, yeah?
It doesn't say that here, does it?
There's the other side.
What?
I think it's here.
Is that so? Because what I was just telling the public is thousands of people, you can't get wheelchair in here to find out there what is happening, isn't it?
Yeah.
There ought to be a notice out there to say, look, don't come here, we're not open.
Yeah.
Didn't there?
We're moving this. There's the information there, Mike, yeah?
Well, it is, but it's no bloody use to anything, is it?
No.
Hey?
Okay. Morning, Mike. Right.
So that's the CAB today.
How are you?
Pretty bloody useless. Well, tell me, young man, since you had such involvement with this, how are the public supposed to know this?
No, what?
This place isn't operating at the moment.
Oh, okay, is it not being broadcast?
Well, that's your job, isn't it?
No, not anymore.
No, but you're a states member. You see, states member won't even used to run here. He won't even speak to me. What have we got? What sort of a carry-on is this? Well, this is the central office for the Gouvernement de Gérer. That's why they write it in a funny language, because they don't want to communicate with the mass of the population. They like to say it's the Gouvernement de Gérer, because they know there's only about 1,000 or 1,500 people in the island who can speak Gérer. So that's what the language they'd like to use. They'd love to do that. Of course, most of them can't speak Gérer anyway, or even French. There's just a few little stalwarts there plodding on, trying to create this illusion of difference. God knows why they're bothering, I don't know. Wish they'd get on and promote socialism instead for a change. But here we are, this is where they all hang out. Not much activity at the moment, not today. Too cold. Well, if you're very quick, you can see the same deputy that we saw before. He's escaping me again. There he goes in the blue jacket. That's the second time he's refused to speak to me this morning. So, must be something I do wrong, mustn't it? And he came out of the Gouvernement de Gérer office this time, not the Citizen Advice office.